Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here with me today, I have a diamond in the rough. He's from the Ivy Leagues. His name is Kendren Smith. He's a corner out of University of Penn. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to tell a little bit about my story.
Yeah, so I know a little bit about your story. Last year really had a great season, first team all conference, and really just an excellent season all around for you and that program. But Kendra, why don't you go ahead and kind of get us started? Tell us where it all began, man. Tell me where you're from, and we'll go from there.
Yeah. So as you know, my name is Kendren Smith. Come from a military family. My dad was in the military, the Navy, for over 25 years. So we bounced around a little bit. Like my brother was born in California, and my sister was born in Hampton. So but it helped because we got to adapt very fast. So I was born in Houston, moved to Charlotte to be closer to family because our family's on the East Coast in the Carolinas. Moved to Charlotte, went kind of around second grade, and I bounced around in Charlotte before I settled down in South Charlotte. So I went to about three elementary schools in my elementary school career, but that kind of helped me out to adapt to different environments and make new friends and stuff like that too. So that kind of set me up um, in the right direction. And I came from a sports family. We all ran track. I ran AAU track. My sister um, was a D1 athlete for the West Kentucky state champion. She ran for Panama because my mom was born in Panama. So she got her dual citizenship and ran for Panama as well. So we grew up running track. So that was a big staple until my football career would help me succeed. And junior year, I chose to focus more on football, and it's been good ever since. So it's been my first love. I've been playing football since about 5 years old. So
Awesome. So since about 5 years old, obviously I introduced you as a corner, but just kind of want to double check. I mean, obviously, bro, you've been playing this game for what, like umpteen, like almost forever, like years. But um, have you played any other like positions at all?
yeah, I bounce around, especially in Pop Warner, man. You play everything. But I played receiver and DB. Played a little bit of quarterback in middle school. Got a little feel for it. Wasn't who I thought I was, but I did have some talent, but just not wasn't the right thing for me. So I played wide receiver and DB all the way up to about sophomore year, then transitioned to DB, and it just felt great ever since. Like being on the defensive side of the ball, like being the enemy. So that's a good thing about it.
Great. And then you did your high school ball. I want to say somewhere in North Carolina. And like you said, I mean, you played a whole lot of other sports, obviously some track. But just kind of want to get your take on your high school experience. So let me know how that worked for you.
Yeah, so I first started out Providence High School. It was in South Charlotte, more affluent high school, kind of like Ivy League a little bit in a sense for high school. And it went pretty well. I think I played very early on varsity freshman year, and then going into junior year, my junior season was very well. I had about 6 picks and 12 PBUs in 12 games.
Nice.
But after postseason, the way I wanted my college recruiting to go didn't go where I wanted because I didn't really have any college guys talk to me. My head coaches didn't really want to put any real effort into it. So that's what made me transition to more of a sort of football school for my senior year to try to put myself on the map and bring light to myself. So I'm transferred to Mallow Creek, which was a big powerhouse at that time in the Carolinas and on the East Coast because they were 2015 they were top 25 high schools. Came out with some guys like Trenton Simpson that went to Clemson, Jordan Davis that was a lineman at Georgia as well. So I transitioned there, played a little bit of safety actually. So that kind of showed both sides of my field, both sides of the field and both different positions. So that
Mhm.
helped me go into college to understand more defense. So and we did pretty good. We went 10-0. We lost in the playoffs. It was a big upset in second round, but it was a good experience overall. And I think that kind of set me up to go to Penn to focus on more that beginning of high school, that education, getting yourself ready, but also being football ready too, and having that drive and be able to compete with a lot of good talent. So
So was it always going to be Penn? Did you have any other options coming out of high school?
yeah, I had a few other options. I had a couple Patriot League offers, few Group of Five offers. I had a Charlotte offer as well, Old Dominion stuff like that too. But I think, especially trusting my parents, I was raised the right way in the sense of trusting my parents and trusting what they have for me, and I just wanted to make that 40-year decision at the end of the day. So I think I wanted to set myself up for my family, for my future kids. So I decided to come to Penn because I know that you can achieve the best of both worlds. So
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when people think of the Ivy League, I mean, they don't really maybe necessarily think about sports. I mean, obviously, some of the best academic institutions on the planet. So, you guys get a top-notch education there. Let's talk about Penn. What makes that school special for you?
I think you will hear this a lot, especially from a lot of Penn grads, and on the football team. It's really a family aspect. It sounds cliche, but also I picked it because of one family. Two, honestly, it was the southernmost Ivy, so that definitely helped too because I like to be around family. So the flights is a little bit easier coming to Philadelphia National, but really the family feel and just the overall feel of the campus, and it wasn't too much in the city. I wasn't a city person, so it's in the city, but it still has its own campus in its own area as well. So I think combination of family. I stepped on campus with the official visit, and it just felt like a right fit, man. You have those type of feels where you just trust your gut and you be like, this is one. So I think with that, it was written ever since. So
So, have you made that drive? I mean, how long of a drive is that? Is that like 8 hours?
yeah, eight to nine, a little bit. I actually made that drive coming up here for the summer with the internship and the summer workout. So it was eight and a half by myself. It was a grind, but I only made one stop. So but it's pretty good though.
Well, I mean, you put some music on, you listen to a book on tape or something. Like, I don't know how you get yourself through it, but you obviously had to do it in order to get there. So cool. So, let's transition. Let's talk a little bit more about some football. Obviously playing some corner there. Um, Talk to me about that defense, that you've been a part of now for a few years.
Yeah, man, we're a tight knit group, man, and I think that starts with our defensive coordinator Bob Benson. He's a no BS guy. I think he really holds guys accountable and keeps the standard in order. And I think that's why we have such success, especially this last year, because we have our goals set on the front of us. He even finishing games, we have our goal sheets of what we need to hit. Stopping the run first is a big thing because you can't win if you don't stop the run. But also just having perfect communication, and that starts on and off the field of holding guys accountable, make sure your guys are working out and staying connected with the team throughout the summer, and just being able to communicate in the field, and that transitions to this year. And I think that's why we had a lot of inexperience 2021, but I think coming into 2022, especially with my return, helped out as well to have a lot of ball players on that defense.
Cool. So, how would you describe yourself as a corner? I mean, every so often somebody will, maybe put some adjectives here and there. I mean, again, there's a little bit of, I don't know, uh, some obvious things that people think about corners. I mean, maybe they're trash talkers that get in people's head. I mean, I don't know. I mean, how would you describe yourself out there?
I think I'm a guy that would just dominate at the end of the day. I think I do get a lot of receivers' heads. I think that's one of my strong suits because that's part of the game. The mental is part of the game. So you have to be able to not get out of your element. And that's one thing I do sometimes take advantage of is a little bit of young receivers that let me get in their head and get them out the element. But I think I'm a guy that dominates on both sides running and pass. And I think what sets me apart is my IQ of the game, really understanding plays and tendencies. I think some of the plays I made was just off straight film and my ability to just understand and see what's coming automatically. So, and I think I even throughout my freshman year career, I think I made plays when it really counted too, and late game time decisions and plays. So I think that was my strong suit.
So, Kendren, I feel like you're one of these prospects that a lot of people really need to get to know this upcoming year. I mean, you have a guy just coming off of an, first team all conference season. You got yourself some really decent size, about 6'1", 200, 205. So you're looking at a guy who at least looks the part. But how would you separate yourself from the pack, man? What do you feel is like maybe the best thing about you as a prospect?
I think it's my consistency, game in and game out. I think um, being a boundary corner as well for our defense. I think they brought me there to do the main thing is shut the main guy down, shut that X receiver down. And I think so. That's what takes me apart from the rest is because I'm not afraid of that competition, and I'm not afraid to go after the number one guy and really shut him down. So
And
I think
would you consider yourself a leader amongst that secondary?
yes, I would. I think I've throughout my freshman year, I was a lead by example guy, freshman to junior year. But I think between this transition to my senior year and the last season, I took more of a vocal role for the DBs in order to they see that guy that's actually making plays, but actually talking as well to have them lead them in the right direction and encourage the young guys.
Gotcha. Kendren, I want to talk about something which I don't know, might be a soft spot, but I mean, I feel like it's really going to help people understand a little bit more about you, and that is how people respond to adversity really is a true test of character. So go ahead and talk a little bit about that 2021 season.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest adversity of them all. I think because going into 21 season, it was coming off of COVID. You know, Ivy League didn't play in the fall and it didn't play in the spring, didn't get them few 5 games in the spring as well. So we had a lot of anticipation for the next season. And I think that it was a combination of things, especially people back home rooting for you, wanting it to be there year to year. And I think it was a lot of anticipation building up and going into that third game against Dartmouth. I had broke up a play on the sideline, got hurt, came down on a freakish landing, and fractured my ankle. And that was my first ever injury since 5 years old. I've gotten hurt, banged up, but I've never been fully injured where I needed to remove myself from the game. So that was a blessing in itself of having that injury. In several ways, I think in the main way is just taking my identity out the sport. I think you see that, especially a lot of professionals when they finish their career, they don't know what to do with their lives. And I think that year was a big eye-opening part to have a combination of not having my identity in my sport, but also being grateful for the opportunity to push me even more, to love the game even more. So I think coming into that year between you're on the team, but you're not really on the team because you're hurt. So it's that it was that constant battle, and I think it helped me turn into that season. That was 2022, and I think it'll project me even forward. So.
Yeah, I mean, obviously getting injured sucks. I mean, but the one thing that it does is kind of gives you perspective, gives you perspective about you in the game, you in life. And hopefully it did that for you. I mean, but I do have to ask, of course, this past season, you didn't show any, you know, thing wrong with that ankle. Obviously, you ended up having a phenomenal season. I mean, you still get treatment on that ankle, or how's that working?
Yeah, I always get treatment here and there, but it's been fully healed for a good minute. But I think that a lot of that 2022 season, aside from having a good ankle now, was honestly that drive, that motivation just to come back and not prove other people wrong, but prove myself right at the end of the day because I know what I have. So I think that was a big thing. Is just that constant motivation on and off the field, just coming to fruition.
Cool. So, hey, let's talk a little bit more about last season. I mean, you guys, what did I look up? 8-2, 8-2. I'm looking at that and I'm like, how are they not Ivy League champs with that, man? Come on, what the heck? That's something's just not right with that. I mean, but yeah, you guys, one of the best in your conference for real. So, what's it going to take for you guys to get back there and maybe be the champs at the end of the day?
I think I have a feeling would definitely be the chance, but that's my confidence speaking. But I think past 2022 season, I think we had a lot of older guys and had the right fit. I think we had a right leadership in holding guys accountable. And we have our saying is standards over feelings. So I think when guys really put the standard before themselves, I think you see a lot of guys on the same page. And that's what we had. Came up short. It's always tough, but I think we took that lesson from the few games of versus Brown upset and Harvard as well, where we just came out slow and they just took over the game. But I think we really learned from our mistakes and understand that we are a team that can compete in the Ivy League and compete for a ring because we started out that season very hot, 5-0. When we saw what it's like to win, and we created that winning as a standard, and we're here to prove ourselves right once again. So
Yeah, I mean, must hurt to beat the eventual champs. But you guys again had a lot of great games. When you look back at that season, give me an example of like maybe your best moment, game, or even a play from that season that you want to share.
I think in the terms of overall experience, best moment, not even about myself, was that Dartmouth game. That game under the lights at Dartmouth, going up to there, driving 7 hours to New Hampshire. That nerve wracking of just having that bad taste in our mouth of losing the Dartmouth 2021 season, and just how they acted towards us. We had something coming from them. So I think that it was a very up and down game, but coming out the first game, the first drive actually scoring, and then getting to overtime and being able to make that stop and a lot of emotions, I think that was one of the best moments. And Trey Flowers, our running back at that time, had the game sealing touchdown, and I think that was just so rewarding because we really felt that was really the game we felt like we were here. And then I think for best play, most memorable play this past season was against Columbia, and I think it was tight bunching to the boundary. It was filmed, so anytime they had that running back to the boundary gun weak with the tight bunch, it was going to be a toss every time. So that was one of the plays where I came in. We were covered two. I came in, set the edge while I still took the ball from the running back, had a forced fumble and a fumble recovery, and all in the same play. So I think that was just that was one of the memorable moments, just to show that film doesn't lie, and just showing my talents is here to play. So
Well, yeah, I mean, you put in the work, you study a little bit, and you know figure out like their some of their plays, and kind of how things work there, and you're ready for them. So, cool. Love that one. You had highlighted one of your teammates. Just kind of want to give you an opportunity to give a couple shout outs real quick. So, who else there at Penn do we need to know this upcoming year?
yeah, I think starting off the defensive side of the ball, I think our DBs are very good. Our two safeties are very good. Jaden Key, he's a fifth-year senior as well. He's a very lanky safety that can very play in a run and go all the way across the field. And then we have Shallow Means. He's a athletic freak. Makes a lot of key tackles, makes a lot of key breakups. I think he's going to be a person to watch, as long as our beast D line, Joey Slackman in the middle, Micah Morris. Have a few young guys replacing Jake Homlicher, was a big guy last year, but I think Paul Jennings would do a good job as well. And my boundary linebacker Jonathan Melvin, that's my right hand man. We do a lot of plays in the boundary, so I think that's pretty good. And from the offensive side of the ball, first player that comes to mind is Aiden Sayin. He really led that team last year, and he has a lot of talent, and I think he's the best quarterback in the league. A little biased, but besides that, Julian Stokes and Josh Casilli, those are our two receivers. Those are Swiss Army knives, and they're very talented, and they will do some real damage to upcoming safeties this year as well. So
Cool. Well, that was the entire roster for
yeah,
Penn. So everybody get it. Watch some ball this year. See all those guys. I mean, I've been saying it myself for a while now. I mean, the Ivy League has a lot of great, talented players this upcoming season. So definitely some players to watch, like really from top to bottom in that conference. So it's going to be a very exciting year for you guys, and just to see how everything plays out. So, um, Kendren, do want to take some time off the football field just to kind of get to know you as a person. So, share a little bit about you that I don't know, maybe not everybody knows your hobbies. If you have any I don't know, hidden interesting talents, or anything else about you that you want to share. So give me something.
yeah. Honestly, I'm a playing guy, but I am a big gamer. That's what I never been an outside person. I was a little inside person as well. So I'm a big family guy, and I do a lot of gaming too on my free time, which is very few now. 'Cause once you get older, you don't have that much time. But I do a little Madden, 2K here and there, and I like to hang out with friends a lot. I value quality time with my friends, man, because time is not promised. So I'm a big guy with having quality times, and we might go out to the city or just spend some time with guys, the defensive guys as well. So
Cool. You shared from the beginning that you came from a military family, kind of bounced around to a few different places. Is there one particular location that is kind of on your bucket list that you want to visit one day?
I think it would be honestly, I would want to go back to Panama, my mom's home country. I think they did a trip earlier, about 5 years ago with the whole family, but football takes takes priority right then, so I couldn't go during the summer. But I think I want to go back to my mom's home country and take her back there because she hasn't been in a long time. So.
Cool. Wanted to maybe ask you a few other questions, again, non-football related, kind of just for fun. So, Kendren, a favorite breakfast cereal?
Oh, you got to go CTC, Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That's the best, man. That's the best. It's a combination of just the actual cereal and then the milk after is undefeated, man. It's undefeated.
Okay, well, I like a little cinnamon toast crunch myself, but I think I kind of lean more towards Golden Grams. Just,
Oh,
but it's not much different, right?
right.
At least in texture. Cool. Let's see. I know you're inside. You had mentioned that you know, are a bit of a gamer yourself. I mean, is there a TV show that you like to watch on occasion? Like if you were to say, "Hey, Jimmy, go binge watch this thing when you get some time," what's that going to be?
Oh, first thing that comes to mind is Money Heist. I don't know if you've seen it. It's Money Heist on Netflix. It's in a different language, but if you can get past that, the plot is amazing. It might seem like it's just bank robbers, but it's more than that. I think it's a popular show as well. A lot of people know about it, but I would say Money Heist. That's a big show to watch.
All right, cool. Um, is there perhaps a celebrity that you would love to meet someday? Whether it be a sports figure, a movie star, or some artist or whatever. But who would that be for you?
Um, I never honestly never been a celebrity celebrity guy, but I think in terms of NFL, I think I want to meet Dion. I think what he did for the game and what he did for corners and DBs specifically, I would love to meet him because he's one of a kind, man. So I think I would love to sit down and have a talk with Dion.
I mean, definitely one of the better corners, in the history of the game. Prayers out to him right now. He's got a lot of medical stuff going on with him and his foot. So, but yeah, definitely a guy to watch. I mean, who do you think's the best doing it these days?
Uh, I got to go with Jalen, man. I've been a Jalen fan for forever, but it's a lot of corners coming up now. A lot of people are not putting some respect on his name. They some Sauce Gardner fans coming up now because he was a big guy in the league. So I'm a fan of both, but I think Jalen really embodies what it means to be a DB. He plays all around the field, plays in the slot, plays a little bit of safety, plays corner as well, obviously. So I think
People
he's
always about the hot name, man. That's just kind of how it goes. That's how it is in a lot of things too, not just football. So, um, Kendren, do you want to try our best to wrap things up? It's been fun getting to know you and your story and your likes and dislikes and all those things. But again, the purpose of this interview is for everyone to get a chance to see you as a player, get some scouts out to your game and hopefully get to the next level. So I want to give you the opportunity to talk to all those scouts right now. So go ahead and look at that camera directly to all those scouts out there and tell them why they need to take a chance on you and bring you into their team. So close us with your pitch.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think what takes me away from the rest is a guy that does the right thing on and off the field. One, I'm a high character guy. I believe that perspective is a big thing in how you view life and how others view you. And I think that embodies myself on the field is a guy that's going to do the right thing, be in the right place, and make the plays that need to be made. So, yeah.
Cool. Well, I feel like there is a lot going for you as a prospect. I mean, you do check a lot of boxes when it comes to things like productivity, size. You're a leader out there. You get the job done, and we'll see if you do it once again this upcoming season, man. I mean, we just need one extra win, I think. What do you? I mean, you think that'll do it? That'll put you guys over the hump?
No, we're going for 10-0, man.
There you
We go.
go, man. Strive for perfection all the time. I love it. All right, Kendren. Best of luck to you, man. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you again, Jimmy.
No problem. Kendren Smith, corner out of University Penn. Check him out.